Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So today we have a very different show than normal. As you can see already, we have a guest on the show. And this may be a lot different than the normal content that we have on here. But I think that this is really important content because this gentleman and friend of mine that's on the channel today, he's doing something pretty cool on YouTube. And some of you might say, how in the world is this homesteading or prepping? But hear me out, because what he is doing, I think it's very good. You know, a lot of you have commented, and I feel the same way. The stuff that's going on in the world is really overwhelming. There's a lot of negativity. It's, you know, Debbie Downer every day when you turn the news on or anything, or watch a YouTube video. And sometimes we need to relax, and we need to watch something or do something to kind of clear our mind of that. And then, of course, many of us that have kids, we want them to have something to be entertained occasionally. But the problem is that so much out there is just garbage. I mean, it's just everything's garbage out there. You have to be so careful with what you allow in your home, to the point that some people just say, I'm not allowing anything into the home. Well, what this gentleman is doing is producing content on YouTube that you and your family, your children can all enjoy and be part of. And so I think that's very essential to what we're doing. We have to have a break, you know, when we're preparing and when we're homesteading and stuff. We need to have a break and have some family time. And what this gentleman is doing is exactly that, to help that. So without further ado, I want to bring on Rob here, or sometimes known as Mr. H on his channel. How you doing today?
All right. Thanks for having me, Travis.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
So what Rob does is he has a YouTube channel called Hearth and Home Entertainment. Let me bring it up here. And so this is his YouTube channel. And what he does is he takes old radio shows and he kind of reformats them, adds some trivia to them, and puts them out there for people to watch, for families to watch. And it's a pretty cool thing. So Rob, tell us about your channel, and what exactly is it that you produce and show over there.
Okay. Well, the channel, like you said, we take some classic old time radio shows and um, we put them together with some kind of relaxing imagery. A lot of times it's a fireplace or nature scene,
Hmm.
or one really popular thing I've been using is some footage of like city streets from like the 1930s, 40s, and 50s.
Hmm.
And it just kind of gives you like a glimpse into uh, how things were, I guess,
Right, right.
and put it together and just kind of make it more of a kind of an immersive experience.
Hmm.
Um, and, you know, kind of trying to, well, one of the things I started calling it is the OTR visual radio, because I'm trying to make something audio into a visual experience as well.
Right, right. Well, I think your content's great, and you know, some of the stuff you have, it goes on for hours. So it's
Yeah.
something that people can, you know, if they want to sit and watch it, or if they want to
Hmm.
just play it in the background,
Yep.
you know, it works. If you want to fall asleep to it, I don't know if you have it on your YouTube, but I know on your Patreon you have some that there is no image. Is that right?
Right.
It's
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just the audio. So if
Right.
you want to kind of fall asleep to it, you know, you can do
Hmm.
that. But it's good, wholesome stuff. You know, it's stuff from like the 40s and the 50s, the old radio shows. I know many of you, I mean, I'm not going to point fingers, but I'm sure there's a few of you are old enough to remember these. Now, when I was a kid, that had already kind of gone away, but there was a local AM radio station that on the weekends, in the evenings, they would replay a lot of those old radio shows. And I got a kick out of them. I thought they were great. And with all the stuff on TV, even if you don't include just the immoral stuff, just the fact that, you know, everything is just very flashy, and the imagery is moving, and there's been studies that that's actually not good for brain development, especially in children. You know, the constant imagery, scene changes, and you know, that kind of stuff. And so with something like this, for those of you that have never listened to an old time radio show, they're very, you know, descriptive as it's going on, and you have to use your imagination. It's actually really fun to listen to them, I think.
Yeah, and that was one of the challenges in making it. Obviously YouTube, people watch videos. So you don't
Hmm.
think of listening to a show,
Right.
but I wanted to have something that people could. Well, uh, one of the ideas for the images was, back in the day, people used to sit in their living room and they'd sit around the radio and listen to the radio. But
Right.
that radio was like a huge piece of furniture, usually, like
Hmm.
in the middle of the room. And
Right.
um, we don't have big radios. Well, I mean, we might have big radios, but we don't have those big old time radios anymore,
Right.
and we don't really have big attention spans anymore. So I
Hmm.
really wanted something that would kind of help keep you focused, but not distract you. And that's
Right.
really important because, if you just, one of the benefits of the show is it does help your imagination. You paint the scenes in your mind.
Right.
You make
Right.
those the images happen. You have the image of whoever the characters are. You create all that. So it
Right.
does stimulate creativity,
Hmm.
and helps you that would distract you from that or add
Right.
additional input. I wanted
Hmm.
something that you could just help keep you focused on it, but it's not going to distract you. It's not going to stifle your own creativity.
Right. Well, tell us about some of the like the type of shows that you have. I mean, obviously it's the old time radio shows, but what
Mhm.
kinds, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, for the most part, there's a lot of detective shows.
mhm,
So I have mostly detective shows. I've got some westerns and
mhm.
a few comedies, and few dramas, but it's and crime shows and things
Right.
like that.
Right. Well, that was
Yours
popular
truly,
back
Johnny
then.
Dollar,
Yeah.
is a popular one. Richard Diamond, Boston Blackie. These are all great detective characters, and of course,
Mhm.
the Lone Ranger, Hopalong Cassidy,
Right.
and Have Gun Will Travel. Just some great westerns, and Gunsmoke, and just some great shows. And then I've even got a few episodes of Ranger Bill. I don't
Wow.
for some of your fans might be familiar with Ranger
Yep.
Bill back in the
I've
day,
yeah, I've
but
heard of it.
yeah. So I think it was like Moody Bible put out these shows of a park ranger, and it was they just great, interesting characters and shows.
Right. Well, and then also talk about how it's more than just a radio show. You're not just turning it on and hearing the radio show. You give trivia, little
Right.
tidbits and
Yeah, the early
information.
ones, when I started, I started doing like individual episodes, and
Mhm,
I didn't really. I kind of just had that vision of having something visual, something relaxing,
mhm,
something to help you. But then, as it started to grow, and I wanted to kind of do more with it. So I
mhm.
started filming intros and talking about the shows and kind of introducing it, telling you a little bit
Mhm.
tidbits about the actors or the producer, just something about the show, some of the
Right, right.
sponsors, and really as I started diving into it myself, because I started just as a fan. I just enjoyed these old shows. And I really didn't know much about who was playing what part or that, but the more I got into it, the more interesting I found it. And then, so I try to relay that at the beginning, and, give a little introduction, talk about what you're going to be watching.
Right.
But it's not encyclopedic though. It's not, more about there's a lot of channels that have like, oh, these dates and this and that, and they get
Right.
really into it. Maybe I'll get there one day, but right now it's more about the experience and the enjoyment of it.
Well, when I watch it, what I think about is the old Turner Classic Movies, and I don't know if they do that anymore. We haven't had any kind of cable or satellite TV at our house in years, but and if you know what I'm talking about, where they would have
Mhm. Yeah.
a guy sitting in like a gentleman's study or something like that with the fireplace in the background, and he's talking about the John Wayne movie or something, and then of course the movie starts. That's what watching your channel reminds me of.
Okay, so that was
You
kind of an inspiration in the back of my mind as well.
Well, that's
So
what I think when I watch it. Because like you said, it's not like a lot of fine details about it. It's just kind of a brief overview. It's fun, you learn a little bit, but not
right.
too much. You're not overwhelmed. It's just a little bit, and then the show starts. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I for the viewers watching this video, again, I know this isn't my normal content, and sometimes we have to take a break from everything. In fact, if I look hot and sweaty, it's because I am. I've been out in the garden all morning and had to stop and run in and do this video, and it's a lot of work what we do. And not only is it physical work, but it's stress. And with all the things that are going on in the world, I know many of you get really stressed out about it. I hear from you. I hear from you in the comments. I hear from you in emails. And a lot of you are asking, how can I disconnect for a while from all this, but not so much that, I just stop preparing myself, or I stop homesteading, or whatever. And I think this is an option. It may not be the only option, but it's certainly an option that, in the evening, your family can gather around, and most TVs nowadays, you can stream YouTube on it. And if you don't have one like that, you can get a little Roku thing that's pretty cheap to put into your TV, and you can watch it right on your TV. You don't have to use your phone. You can stream it right on your TV. And it's great that, the family can listen to it, and they can kind of talk about it while it's playing, and I think it's pretty cool. And it's like having a fireplace in your home, but it's your TV screen. So as much as that TV can bring negative things in your home, I think this is a way to bring something really positive and relaxing. And it also shows your children how things were back in the old days, maybe in your generation, or your parents, or your their grandparents' generation, what they watched, what they listened to for entertainment. So I just think it's a pretty cool idea.
Thanks. Yeah, and that's one of the things I noticed. A lot of my subscribers, viewers, my hearth and homies is what we call our fans. But a lot of them are, many of them comment and say, "Hey, I remember when this show was on the radio, and I got great memories from it." And I think there's and there are also other viewers, my age, a little younger, and I know for me, it reminds me of my grandparents,
Right.
like just the time, the stories, and they listened to these shows, they enjoyed these shows, they would talk about these characters, and it reminds me of them. So it does remind me of it. Maybe not even a time period. It's not even a time period I grew up in or experienced firsthand.
Right.
But it reminds me. It just evokes those warm memories and those good feelings and things like that. And we do try to really keep a positive place on the channel.
Well,
like you said,
good.
there's tons of negativity out there.
Man,
there's tons of things.
Yeah.
And one of the rules I try to keep by and do is like no politics. Like politics aren't allowed to be discussed, even if I agree with it. Yeah, because that's everywhere, and you can get that everywhere. But I feel like we need, as people, first of all, we're not really designed to handle all the our emotions, our feelings, everything. We're not really designed to take in all this data from all over the world, and all the bad things, and all the negative things. You just can't handle a steady diet of that. And so I really wanted to create a place that was like free from that. Just relax, come, enjoy it. Even if, and what's cool is we have people from all kinds of backgrounds, very diverse backgrounds. But we can get together because it's something that we just all enjoy for whatever reason it is. For me, it's it reminds me of my grandparents. For someone else, it might be something else. So, whatever it is, we connect with that. And, we have some, we do live streams, and there's a lot of chat that goes on during the live streams. And, it's just like a fun place, a friendly place. And people drop in and say hi, even if they can't, I can't watch tonight, but I just want to come in and say hi, and I love that, because it's just people making connections and kind of leaving all the negativity, leaving all that bad stuff at the door. And
kind of like how America used to be, huh?
Yeah.
Where even if you disagreed with someone, you could still have a civil conversation with them.
Yeah. Remember those days?
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. What, the 1980s?
Right. But
well, I want to talk just a minute about, because we talked on the phone yesterday, and so let's talk about the whole YouTube not monetizing, because for those of you, I encourage you to get over and watch. I will leave a link down in the description below. It's Hearth and Home Entertainment, but there'll be a link down in the description. Subscribe to his channel. Because like all of us little smaller YouTubers, you know, this may not be like our only income. This may not, you know, but we're not getting rich off of it, but it does help. It does help. And Rob's got a family and a, you know, wife and beautiful children. And so it helps him too. But YouTube won't let him monetize his channel. Well, not anymore. I guess they did.
Right. Yeah.
They did. And then they cut him loose.
Mm-hmm.
So from my understanding, they're saying that it's not original enough content is the excuse. Is that it?
Right.
Or
Right.
something
They
like that?
basically say it's just reused content, and there's no what they say. I kind of laughed about this and used it for a while. They said, you know, I'm not doing enough like original content, or I'm not adding any value or anything of worth to it. And I thought, wow, okay, so everything I do, all the hours I put in, it's the community we built and everything, it's just nothing, you know.
Yeah,
so it's like, okay, well,
visual imagery, the trivia, all that.
And so yeah, we were monetized for a time, and then they demonetized us, and then I appealed and had a successful appeal. They remonetized us, and then they just out of the blue said, no, you're not monetized anymore. And then somehow they even forgot to pay me for the time I was monetized, but I won't bring that up.
Of course. And
anyway, so it's been this like up and down kind of ride there.
You told me something yesterday, and you said it didn't matter if we talked about it, but I wanted to talk about it because my listeners love good conspiracies. And
well, let me tell you, this is your channel. I can talk about it.
That's right. We do talk about politics over here. You were saying that while you were monetized, they were demonetizing individual videos, which they do that. They do that on my channel occasionally. But tell us about what they were demonetizing, and at the time, and kind of what you think could. Now, there's no proof of this. There's no proof. But there's no proof. But,
I don't know.
You know, if it's a walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then you know. So go ahead and tell us.
I did notice the warnings and kind of the partial monetization and demonetization I was getting on individual videos tended to be shows that, now mind you, the content for most of these shows is pretty much the same. I mean, I'm not going to say it's formulaic, but you know, it's somewhat formulaic. Yeah. So it's not like there was a big difference in the different detectives and the different shows or the crime shows, but the ones that were getting demonetized were shows like Mr. District Attorney, because it featured like a law enforcement I guess, I don't know, they never give you a reason. So you're kind of left to guess. And so it was like just particular shows that dealt with like law enforcement and things like that. And I really couldn't understand why they were singling out these shows. And then, you know, I'm trying to draw my own conclusions and, and guessing, but it seemed like they didn't like shows that were positive towards like the justice system or you know, law enforcement, things like that.
And of course, what we've gone through over the last 2 years of defund the police and all that kind of stuff, and then anything that shows police in a positive, you know, way, it was demonetizing. But hey, you know, maybe it's just a coincidence. But on this channel, coincidences aren't usually a coincidence. So, I mean, you can, you know, read it for what you want. But so anyways, for those of you, please go over and subscribe to this channel. And then how can they support your channel? Is there, you know, because on my channel, if they just watch the video, if it's a monetized video, then I get a tiny little piece of the puzzle, the pie. But how can they support your channel?
Well, I'm glad you asked. No, so one of the things I'll be honest, when they first demonetized us, it was really an emotional experience for me because I was like excited. I was thankful. You know, I thought, hey, I'm going to be able to spend time doing something I really enjoy, put this together. And, you know, and I wasn't going to be like a millionaire off it or anything like that, but it was a good part-time job or good, you know, thing like that. So I was excited and I was really throwing myself into it. I was like, okay, I got to get these things going. And I was taking it more serious. It was able to take more of my time. It was able, or, you know, I was able to focus more of my time on it because now it was generating some revenue. So, then when they did, I was just like, oh man, you know, I was kind of crushed, and it was like an emotional thing too, because it's something you've created, and you know, even if it doesn't give you, even if there wasn't much value added to it, to me, it was something. So there was like this feeling of like, oh man, I was really bummed over it, and I'll be honest, I almost just quit, just said,
Mhm.
okay, I can't do this. I got to work on something else.
Right.
But I started noticing in the comments, people saying how much they loved it, how positive it
Mhm.
was. People saying it helped them with anxiety, different things I had never really considered.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, I can't quit. So I came up with I was working through different ideas, but in the end, we came up with an idea. I came up with the idea of the Johnny Dollar Club.
Mhm.
And, to give people an opportunity to support us on Patreon and buymeacoffee.com.
Right.
And so we started the Johnny Dollar Club, and it was like for $1 a month, you can sign up for the Johnny Dollar Club and help keep us going.
Right.
And I wanted to enter in it, like there's different levels, but I wanted to make sure there was always a level that was at least just $1. That's the lowest
Right.
pretty much you can go on these sites. And
Mhm.
and that you don't get much out of that dollar,
Right.
once everything's
Yeah.
processed and everything. But
Sure.
I wanted people to be able to participate, and that was the other thing too. I never wanted to have something where it was like a paywall or something that kind of kept people out.
Right.
So I wanted to try to include as many people as I could.
Mhm.
And so we started with the Johnny Dollar Club, and then we also kind of, Buy Me a Coffee has a thing where you can give like a one-time tip.
Mhm.
And so we were saying, buy me a coffee. And over time, it morphed into buy me a strawberry. And that is from my daughter, Ellie, who
Yes.
frequently pops into
Who
my
is
videos while I'm
adorable.
filming. Thank you.
She is adorable.
So she's, she's bright, cheery, and she
Mhm.
loves strawberries. That's her favorite food.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you
she
can
eats
buy her a
strawberries.
strawberry.
So I finally said, "Hey, don't buy me any more coffees. Buy me a strawberry." And
Right.
we did that, and it's just a fun thing. And what it started was she would always run in when I'm recording and say, "Hey, I
Mhm.
want strawberries. You know, I'm hungry. I need strawberries." And
Right. Right.
uh, strawberries are empty. That was, and so it just kind of became a thing, and people enjoyed it. And we even did one video recently where she. When I was done filming, I walked away for a minute. She put on this hat and this shirt, and she starts talking to the camera. She's like, "Hi guys, it's me," and she's talking. Well, when it wasn't recording, she's doing like this fake deep voice, like, "Hi guys, it's me, Daddy," and she's talking. So we just had fun with it. I let her be the guest host, for that
That's
show, and
awesome.
of course, she asked for strawberries. So
Right. Hey, yeah. So buy her a strawberry and help them out. And one more thing, um, you are also a real estate agent, and I want to mention this because a
Mhm.
lot of people right now, I get emails all the time from people. Hey, I want to move out of the city. I want a homestead. I want to buy a piece of property, and they're not all wanting to move where I'm at. I mean, I get emails from people all over the country. You
Mhm.
know of anything
Mhm.
going on in this area? So you are a real estate agent.
Right.
In another part, you're not here in the Ozarks where I'm at. So I wanted to
Yeah.
mention that, and that way, if anyone is looking for a real estate agent in your area, they can get a hold of you. So tell us what area you do, and then how they
Sure.
can get a hold of you if they're looking for a real estate agent.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm in like South Alabama, Northwest Florida
Mm-hmm.
area, and I invite people to contact me through the email that's on the about section of our
Mm-hmm.
our channel page.
Okay.
And but so I service those areas directly,
Mm-hmm.
but also I'm part of really a global network of
Mm-hmm.
different agents. And so if anybody's looking really in anywhere in the US and like 6 different countries,
Mm-hmm.
but I can, you know, find out what your needs are, what you're looking for, and
Mm-hmm.
then pair you with a great agent in your area that's going to
Awesome.
help you kind of, uh, you know, help you with that search and help you find what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's
that's been
pretty
exciting.
cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
so any of you that are, you know, looking for a realtor right now, I know that the housing market's a little crazy, the economy's really crazy, the stock market's super crazy, but
Mhm.
many of you are still trying to get out of the cities or trying to move or whatever. So I just wanted to mention that, even though it's not directly related to the Hearth and Home channel. But anyways,
Yep.
so folks, the link will be in the description below. Go over there, subscribe to his channel. again, these videos aren't something that maybe, you watch every day, but, if you have family night, on the weekends, you want to relax. If you have a family gathering, like a holiday or something, some kind of holiday or something that the whole family's there, it'd be cool to gather everyone around, especially if like the grandparents are there, and put this on, and they're probably going to reminisce and remember this kind of stuff. And it's just a way to bring the family together. The kids are going to be probably asking about things that they don't know about, because it's not talking about iPhones and, video games and stuff. So I think it's just a good overall learning experience and entertainment, clean, wholesome entertainment for your family. And I'm really grateful that you're producing this content.
Thanks.
And
One thing I will add too,
Mhm.
you touched on it and I didn't really say, but one thing I really think is cool is the fact that it is like it's like a little time capsule,
Mhm.
and for educational, even like it shows you what life was like.
Right.
Obviously it was Hollywood or New York or, the
Mhm.
entertainment of the day, but it gives you insight into what was the day-to-day life like, for people, back in that time. And,
Yeah.
try to explain what a, automat is to someone, so.
Right. Right. Well, Rob, thank you for coming on the channel, and this has been fun. It really has, and um,
Thank you.
I hope all my listeners will go over there and subscribe to your channel and watch your content, because it's really cool. I mean, it's one of the channels on YouTube that I actually think is really cool content. It's different and it's cool. So, thank you for coming on. And
Well, thank you. Thank
anything
you for having
else?
me.
Anything else before we close up that you wanted to say?
Uh, Thanks again
Well, you're
for
very welcome.
having.
The honor was mine today, because, just like I said, you have cool content and you have a great family. And like I said, his daughter is adorable. So when you see her on his channel, you'll know what I mean. You can buy her a strawberry. Um, all right. Well, folks, thanks for stopping and watching the video today. I know it wasn't the normal content, but sometimes we have to take a break from that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of other things happen that we'll be talking about in the very near future on this channel to get ourselves prepared for, and how to homestead and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of thought we needed to take a break from that and talk about family and how to bring us together, and a little bit of wholesome entertainment, because boy, that is seriously lacking in the world that we live in today, is that wholesome entertainment that you don't have to, pre-screen before your children watch it. So hope you enjoy this today. Thank you, Rob, for coming on, Mr. H, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.